Hello, this is Tim Campbell with Action Coach Business Coaching with my Survive and Thrive Business Spotlight series. The purpose is to interview local business owners to get the word out about them through my social channels and email database. This is a free service I'm providing to support the local businesses because if we save every business, we save the economy. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Tom with Sterling Insurance. Welcome, Tom. It's great to have you join me today.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you this afternoon.
Well, let's start with telling us a little bit about yourself. And if you had 60 seconds to explain what business you are in, what would that 60-second commercial be?
60 seconds. I've been in the insurance industry for 30 years and focused on employee benefits. And I help small to medium-sized businesses manage their employee benefit packages that they put, forth for their employees.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. And how long have you been in business for yourself, Tom?
We started the Sterling Insurance in 2004, and I've been in the business since 1989.
Wonderful. So tell me, who do you serve? Really, who's your best customer? We call that your target audience.
Our target audience, we like to work with non-for-profits, mid-sized companies that are focused on helping others. So community health centers, physician groups, municipalities, and even small manufacturing firms. But we really like to work with those that are helping others. So the community health centers, we really like working with them because they're so dedicated to the community that they serve, their patient base that they're taking care of. And so we really try to get in there and help them because they also are very diverse in that you've got employees that are making a lot of money, your doctors, and then you've got all the way down to the front office staff. And so they need somebody that understands what they're trying to do and can work to structure benefits that accommodate all the people they're trying to attract and retain. So that's kind of our niche market that we've worked on for the last 15 years.
So tell me a little bit more about how your operation works. So what I was intrigued when we first met is that it's more of a broker model as opposed to a corporate benefits company. So for the listeners who don't know what that means, would you mind talking through that a little bit?
Sure. As an independent consultant, we don't work for the big companies as far as like United Healthcare or Anthem. Not that we're picking on them, but we just don't work for them. We work for the client. So when we're looking at putting together a benefit package, we focus on what is best for the client, what's best for the employee, how can we help you manage your cost while elevating the level of care for your employees. So we really implement best practices at a multitude of levels, whether it's the PPO network, whether it's steerage into the higher quality healthcare facility, whether it be a hospital or even just an imaging center. So that's kind of how we differentiate ourselves, is really to elevate the level of care while containing the cost.
Now, there's a general perception that in order to get benefits, you have to have hundreds of employees. And I don't believe that is true, correct?
Correct. We actually work with employers as small as 2. Obviously, we're limited as far as our options, what we can offer them. And then as we grow from there, we can open up to just a large array of different funding mechanisms or strategies. So the market that has the greatest amount of options is if I've got about 25 employees to up to 100, I've got a wide array of ideas and strategies that we can implement to really manage their cost. And so there's a lot of opportunity there. And I don't think a lot of those employers are really seeing that because the big firms are now selling off their smaller books of business or smaller employer groups to these digital firms. So you really don't even get a face-to-face anymore, or you're not getting the opportunity to paint the picture that what's going on in your group. So you don't really have anybody that's kind of looking for ideas or solutions to help you manage your costs, because you're not a big enough profit center for your firm.
Right.
And that's not the case at our firm. We don't care if you got 10 employees or if you got 110 employees. We're going to do what's best for you and really roll up our sleeves and see how we can help you and your staff.
Wonderful. Well, that's a great service for a lot of people, again, who have just assumed that they can't get health care for their employees. What has been the greatest impact that COVID-19's had on your business, Tom?
The face-to-face. Actually getting to meet people and talk to them face-to-face, because the Zoom meetings are okay, and they're neat in the fact that I don't have to worry about drive time and all that. But there's a lot to be said in the face-to-face meeting. And I think one of the movies is Hitch with Will Smith. It's the dating service, and he talks about communication is 70% nonverbal. Body language. Are they listening? What is really going on? And that's really true. And when you're sitting in there and you're talking and you're asking questions, and that employer's looking at you or answering those questions, and how they're answering those questions is probably as much importance as the words coming out of his mouth or her mouth, when they're telling us what's going on. And so the COVID has limited us in that interaction. So from that standpoint, yes.
Tell me, what are one or two actions you've taken to make a difference during this time, and how's that worked for you?
One of the things is, implementing some of the technologies, the Zoom, that has helped, because we still are getting some of that face-to-face. It's still kind of up above, so you can't see if they're fidgeting your feet or wiggling in their chair kind of thing. Also, automating our systems, excuse me, in an effort to, in anticipation of not really being able to have those face-to-face meetings that we typically have had for our clients in the past, we've implemented new systems, enrollment systems, CRM systems, to try and automate some of those.
Right.
They're good, but again, they're still, they're missing that human touch.
Yeah. So something better than nothing, which is great that you've been able to pivot to be able to still interact with your clients and your prospects. So that's fantastic. It's actually one thing that I've been spending a lot of time on over the last few months is helping business owners figure out how to pivot. I offer free pivot strategy sessions to help folks think through, like, what can I do to survive during this time? So it's great to hear that you were able to make some changes and continue to provide your service to folks. So, hey, Tom, here's an interesting question. It's been said that smart people learn from their mistakes and wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So what mistakes did you make along the way, and how can other folks learn from your experience?
I would say probably not starting sooner. I've kind of been reluctant, as far as I've been on a path and kind of it's worked. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. And what's funny is years ago, I kind of made fun of people going, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing, and went, no, you got to constantly be looking at it. And then I got into that same mode, so I kind of want to kick myself. So, to not get into that mindset, always be looking to learn and improve. And I've done that on the strategy side. I just wasn't doing it internally from, an operations. I guess the best saying is a plumber's house is never plumbed.
Yeah.
So while I'm working on strategies and helping other employers manage their health care and implement strategies that are going to help manage their risk and their cost spend on that.
Yeah.
I wasn't taking care of my own shop as far as the automation and technology internally. So
Wonderful.
that would definitely be it.
There's a great book out there. It's called What Got You Here Won't Get You There. And the essence is exactly what you're saying is, hey, as a business, we're either growing or we're dying, right? And the things that got us to where we're at today aren't going to be able to get us to the next level of where we want our business to be. So, thanks for sharing that, because I think that's a good, takeaway for everybody that's listening and figuring out what do you need to do to get your business to that next level. So awesome. Second last question here. I've got your contact information. I'm going to include that in my post when I put this video up on social media. Is there anything else that I should share, like an offer or anything?
Just, it's never too late for a second opinion. I don't have to be your first choice, but you've got a current broker or you've got a current operation, something that you're already doing. How long you been doing it? If you've been doing it for 3, 4, 5 years and you haven't really made any changes, it's time to look for a change. Because if there's an industry that is fast moving and fast paced, it's definitely the health industry. Technology is changing on a daily basis. A great example of that is 10 years ago, the Affordable Health Care Act came out. And in that process, it required that employer groups begin, not employer groups, but healthcare providers begin telling their results. How many, procedures I do, what the outcomes were, so on and so forth. There is now a software package, a reporting that has grabbed all that data and now will tell you if I've got a procedure I need done, it will rate the top 5 hospitals in the area. It'll tell me who has the best outcomes, best follow-up, least amount of complications. And then on top of that, it will grade them according to price. And so I now, as a consultant, can come in and help you as an employer navigate your employees to the best quality provider in the community, as well as the best price provider in the community. Wow. So I'm improving the outcomes while lowering the cost. That was not available 3, 4, 5 years ago. And it is today.
Wow.
That's helping employers save anywhere from the low end of 15 to as high as 30% on their premiums. If I'm spending $1 million a year,
right,
that's $150,000 to $300,000 savings. That's not chump change.
Wow.
So it's never too late to get a second look.
Okay, fantastic. Well, last question here. Tell me what is most inspiring to you today in today's environment, in the world today.
Inspiring. I would say that with all the chaos that's going on, it's the optimism that you still see, that there's all this craziness going on, but you've got all these people that are in the streets, and but they're all wanting change. They're all wanting, they're all wanting better for themselves, their community, our country as a whole. So I would say I see a great deal of, in all this chaos, I see a great deal of optimism of a better tomorrow. So I would say the optimism of our country is what inspires me the most.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing. Tom, that concludes the interview.
Excellent.
I'd like to invite you, as well as anyone who's listening to this, to take advantage of my free coaching sessions. That's to talk through any details that you are wrestling with in your business. And if you're interested in that, I'll go ahead and contact me and we can get that booked on calendar. So again, Tom, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
You too. Bye now.